It was just as he'd expected. The house was a money pit. Rather than being offended by his remark, she seized on his critical comment as if he'd tossed her a lifeline. In fact, a smile spread across her face. That heart-stopping smile made his blood hum in a way it hadn't for some time now. It was a good thing, too. It was damn cold outside. Moving a little faster now, she stepped toward a sagging shutter and fingered it pointedly. "You're right, Mr. Hutchinson. It really would take a lot of work to fix this up right. Perhaps we should move on. I think you'll find the other houses more suitable." She glanced quickly toward his leg, then away again. Besides, there are a lot of steps inside. Ken bristled at the display of sympathy. She had unwittingly fueled his stubborn determination to see this house. "So?" She winced at his tone, but faced him bravely. "You might find that troublesome." "I can handle the damn steps," he retorted irritably. He turned to look her directly in the eye. "Miss Callahan, you have a reputation as the best real estate agent in the area. Am I right?" She murmured assent, that delightful pink tint back in her cheeks again. Whether it was due to pleasure or embarrassment or the blasted freezing wind, he couldn't be sure. "Then you wouldn't have told me about this house unless it was something special, right?" She evaded his gaze. "But it's difficult to tell if a house is right for someone until you've met them." Bingo. "So you don't think this house and I are well suited?" To his chagrin, she didn't hesitate. "No." She studied him worriedly. "Sorry, I didn't mean to sound rude. Actually, I've a place in town that would be just right," she said with enthusiasm. "It's small, completely modernized, well-maintained. I'm sure you'd be much happier with that. It would be perfect for entertaining." "Miss Callahan, I don't do a lot of entertaining." Her spirits deflated as obviously as if he'd poked a pin into a balloon. "Oh," she said. "Now, let's just pretend for a moment," he began in the tone he used when telling a story to his daughter, "that you think this house is suitable for me. Cut to the chase. What are its selling points?" She regarded him with obvious disapproval. "Mr. Hutchinson, buying a house isn't like investing in a stock portfolio. It's not the bottom line that's important. You should have a feeling for a house. It should reach out to you." That sounded like heresy to him. Ken knew quite a lot about investing in stock portfolios, but he had to admit buying a house was new to him. He'd figured the strategy was the same: buy low and eventually sell high. Judging from the expression on Beth Callahan's face, that wasn't going to work for him today. He was beginning to get a vague inkling of the problem. "This house reaches out to you, doesn't it?" he said, throwing her own phrasing back at her. She nodded, suddenly looking younger and more vulnerable. Appealing, in fact. He wondered why she worked so darned hard to hide her physical attributes. "Ridiculous, isn't it?" she admitted, with a self-conscious shrug that he found downright charming. "And you don't want me to have the house because you want it for yourself," he suggested, finally understanding her dilemma. "No, actually, the house is mine. That is, I bought it for resale. I want to see it sold to the right people," she blurted out, then groaned. "Sorry, I didn't mean any offense." Ken had to admit he was intrigued by her notion of who the right people would be for this dilapidated monstrosity. He normally didn't like wasting time on fanciful nonsense, but he was in Berry Ridge overnight anyway, and he had promised Chelsea he'd come home tomorrow with pictures of their new house. He was hoping to spark some enthusiasm for the move she'd been resisting from the minute he'd mentioned the possibility. "Tell me what you see in the house," he urged, room by room. As she listed its attributes, which were a wide stretch of anybody's imagination as far as he could tell, Ken began to see it through her eyes. He could also begin to imagine Chelsea clattering up and down the stairs, sitting in the window seat upstairs on a rainy day with a book, swinging from the branch of that maple tree.